Alderman, can I have everyone back and seated? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman.
Present.
Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donnerworth. Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Felix. Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum,
And
ma'am.
before I get going, I want to say that we have one of our aldermen online tonight. Do you want to?
Yes. Alderman Bolton provided notice that she would be participating remotely due to a medical situation. She provided sufficient notice. She's been also provided with a link where she can hear and be heard. Does anyone have any objection to Alderman Bolton participating in tonight's meeting virtually? No. Hearing none.
Thank you.
All, in accordance with the rules of the Open Meeting Act, all votes will be by roll call, and the mayor will recognize Alderman Bolton if she has to speak.
Good evening, everyone. We have the invocation. It was supposed to be Pastor Timothy O'Malley or Father O'Malley. I don't see him here tonight. Is it okay if I call on you, Pastor Brown? Could you give the invocation tonight? Thank you, my dear. Pastor
you.
Brown from Amy Church will be here to give the invocation.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Ann Taylor, Chief George Bridges for the call, my alderman, Dr. Sylvia Bolton, for the opportunity to lead us in prayer on tonight. Let us bow our heads. Father God, thank you for your kindness in bringing us together. Today, God, I pray for the mayor, each council man and woman, each police officer, all county officials, community leaders, and for all who are present in this room on tonight. Although we may not know what each of us has had to encounter on today, God, we know that you know. And as we begin this meeting, Lord, allow us to keep your word on our mind that says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. And Lord, lead us into fruitful conversations that enrich the lives of those we serve and protect. God, please lead us with your wisdom. Help us remain respectful to one another, and more than anything, Lord, help us to seek your will and pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name I pray, and let the people of God say, amen.
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 Oops. So, again, welcome to the fall season and Illinois weather that we're all over the place. For those of you, I remind everybody when you're here that you can get our agendas. They're put out the Friday, no later than 5 o'clock before our city council meetings. This is an exception meeting. We're on a Tuesday night because of the holiday. We are the first and third Mondays of the month, and you can get the agendas the Friday before by going to waukeganil.gov and looking at the agendas. Tonight, before I say my remarks, I'm going to have Chief Pazer come up and talk a little bit about how many calls the fire department has, what kind of calls they're getting. On the first Monday of the month, Chief Pazer will talk. On the second meeting of the month, Chief Navarro will be talking, just so you're updated on what's going on in the city. Chief Pazer?
Thank you, Mayor Taylor and council members, for allowing me to speak for a minute about the Waukegan Fire Department. So far this year, the Waukegan Fire Department has responded to 8,569 calls as of August 31st, which is 200 calls ahead of where we were last year, which was another record year for us. Of these calls, 67% are medical calls. Of all the medical calls we've had 83 cardiac arrests, 277 calls for alcohol use, 152 drug-related calls, 923 traumatic calls which have gone to Vista, and 88 trauma calls that were critical enough to have to go to a level 1 trauma center, which is Condell. We've used our Lucas device, which is a mechanical chest compression device that helps first responders give automatic chest compressions to patients in cardiac arrest 62 different times this year. We have given 108 doses of Narcan on drug overdose calls. We have had an exorbitant number of calls to nursing homes, behavioral facilities, and extended care facilities in this town this year, making up 568 calls, or 81 times per month, to just 7 different places in town. This puts a tremendous strain on our services because many times we send both an engine and an ambulance to these facilities. We've had 31 significant structure fires totaling just over $14 million in damage so far since January. Our department as a whole is very training oriented, and this is reflected in our training numbers totaling over 28,000 hours for the year for our members. Our Fire Prevention Bureau has done an incredible job this year, doing 2,524 total inspections so far, and this does not include all of the re-inspections that they have done either. They've also done 41 occupancy inspections, which verifies permittable occupant loads. Our CERT team, which stands for Community Emergency Response Team, has attended many events for us this year, including SCOOP, the 4th of July Parade, Touch a Truck, and the Park City Summer Block Party, just to name a few. We just graduated 2 new bomb technicians from the 6-week FBI-run academy, which is down in Huntsville, Alabama, and we have 2 more members there right now, which will be graduating in late September. We have 3 of our members who are actively working with Waukegan Public Schools, teaching our kindergarten through 3rd graders about fire safety and fire prevention. Next, I'm going to speak for a minute about the nationwide crisis hitting close to home at an alarming rate. I'm talking about the opioid addiction and abuse. According to the CDC, in 2023, more than 107,000 people in the United States died of drug overdoses, and about 2/3 of those deaths involve synthetic opioids, primarily being fentanyl. Fentanyl is 50 times more potent than heroin. This equates to 190 people per day dying of opioid-related overdoses. The metrics are staggering, and they demand that all Americans work together to reduce the harsh impact of opioid addiction and the abuse it has on the lives of so many of our neighbors, our family members, and our friends. Too many lives have been lost to drug poisoning and overdose. Too many families and communities have been shattered by this crisis. At the Waukegan Fire Department, our efforts also include working collaboratively with respective interest firms who share our concerns with this problem and our commitment to the public health. We thought that if we could bring up the exposure on the potential of fatal outcomes, we'd reduce the rates of new addiction. Last, we have Fire Prevention Week coming up next month, which is from October 6th through October 12th, where the Waukegan Fire Department will be having an open house on Saturday, October 12th, which is from 11 to 1. I will be giving the information to David to get out to everybody. It'll be located at our fire station number 5, which is at 3221 North Green Bay Road, up by the Waukegan Airport. And we will not only be celebrating Fire Prevention Week, but we will also be celebrating the 175th anniversary of the Waukegan Fire Department. So we hope that everybody can join us.
Thank you, Chief Pazer.
Thank you.
I do want to reiterate, we are seeing massive increases in overdoses. And it's not just Waukegan, it is everywhere. But please, please, we are working with not-for-profits and trying to get treatment. Not everybody is ready for treatment. Our social workers are on the streets. So we are addressing this, but when you're dealing with adults, not everybody is ready for that treatment, but we are trying our best. I want to talk a little bit about COVID cases being on the rise. At this point, we do not require masks in City Hall, but that may change at any time. We, in our own building last week, went in one day from 6 cases to 13. It's changing like that in the community. So if you come and there's a sign on the door that masks are required, it's changing on a regular basis, but it's also changing in the community the same way. So please, COVID shots are available. If you get the opportunity, please go for them. And again, we are concerned about the community with COVID. Many of you are not testing anymore. It is respiratory symptoms that you're getting. It's not as severe as it used to be, but please be aware to keep that in mind. I want to mention this weekend was full of fun in our community. We had the Ferraris on the runway at the Waukegan Airport. We had the Southside reunion, which was, the amount of people was amazing. It was fun to see kids out having fun. It was nice to see adults dancing. And if anybody was there, I was one of them dancing, so please don't show video of that on social media. You don't need to see me dance. Jamaican Fest had great music, but again, there's a lot going on in Waukegan, and take advantage of the things that are out there. This Saturday, you can experience a day filled of fun activities and sportsmanship with Angels Boxing Academy in Park City, but has many Waukegan residents. They used to be located in a building here in Waukegan and outgrew it, so they are in Park City. But I think most of their students are from Waukegan. They have a chess tournament from 10 to noon, and the event is located at the Park City Community Center, which is 333 Teskey Boulevard. This Sunday is City of Hope's Walk Against Cancer. The event registration and festivities kick off at 7. The program begins on the stage at 9 a.m., and the lineup and walk-off for the 2K and 5K start at 9:30. The Waukegan Park District will host its 9th annual 5K Run Walk on Saturday, September 14th from 9 to 11 at Hingston Park, which is at 810 Baldwin Avenue. The event will have a superhero theme. For a $24 entry fee, participants receive a race packet and commemorative shirt. Proceeds benefit the Special Recreation Services of Northern Lake County and Waukegan, supporting programs for individuals with disabilities. The event includes a free children's race for ages 5 to 13 before the award ceremony, and the superhero-themed activities like mask and cape decorating. As part of the city's Hispanic and Latino culture celebration from September 15th to October 15th, the city has one Mexican and Latino American Independence Parade. We are excited to partner with Juntos, a Waukegan not-for-profit, for their parade in downtown Waukegan on Sunday, September 15th. The parade kicks off at Washington Street at noon. More information can be found at juntos.com. The festival that same day is hosted by Puro Football. Both of these organizations submitted their applications this past January and have been coordinating together with both city staff and each other to ensure that these festivities are fun, safe, and welcoming to the entire Waukegan and Greater Lake County communities. On September 1st, the city has Fiesta Sin Frontera, showcasing our students and their efforts to keep Mexican traditions alive. The event will have guest artists and bands perform live music throughout the afternoon to entertain the crowd between performances. And of course, there's always plenty of great food. As always, you can always check the WaukeganIL.gov for any city events that are on there. You can also sign up for the e-newsletter, which will update you on, things going on in the community. I want to mention that September is National Suicide Prevention Month, a time to remember those who have lost their life to suicide and acknowledge the millions more who suffer in silence and experience suicidal thoughts, and the many individuals, families, and communities that have also been impacted by suicide. And we have felt that lately ourselves. It's also a time to raise awareness about suicide prevention and share messages of hope. educate yourself and others about suicide prevention, learn the warning signs and risk factors of suicide, and how to support someone considering suicide, and familiarize yourself with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You might have seen that we hosted an informational session last week at the Waukegan Public Library. Your City Hall team is applying for a grant that would significantly benefit the potential modernization of the Jack Benny Plaza and the entire community. We want to add some gathering space, just a whole new environment down there for people who can just sit and enjoy the downtown area. We want to adjust the brick placement. There is a 6-question survey online at www.waukeganil.gov. Please, we want your input. We want to know your thoughts on this. And please, come and comment and let us know. I made a statement earlier in a committee about where we are with the SROs. So the day after our last city council meeting, because I had not heard from the school district, I reached out to them and went through an itemized, we had taken the figures of summer school and an 8-month program. And what we did was we sat down and looked at what is every single day that you're using our officers. We didn't go by 8-month, we went by days. And we worked out what it would cost for them to pay their pensions, their insurance, and their salary, why you're taking those officers off of our streets. We are still paying the largest part of the bill, which is the liability, the workman's comp, the training, and the equipment. So the total number came out to $294,200.20, which was the $295 I had offered them. I realize that this is a big jump for them, so I offered them $260,000. We also modified the contract because they had wanted to discipline our SROs, who are actually sworn officers and work for the city of Waukegan and have a chain of command that they need to report here. We also made sure that they understood that the officers have to wear body cams and that those body cams have to be used at certain times. They came back with an offer from $215,000 to $220,000, and I had said to them, if your board can approve the $260,000 last week, we would approve it tonight, and I would have the officers there first thing tomorrow morning. They did not approve it last week. They're staying with the $220,000. I can't do any lower if the aldermen want to override that, but it is my job to be the steward of the taxpayers' money. This is the actual cost of what it costs us, so that's why I've said we are doing a massive discount at $260,000. We will not, again, be able to long-term sustain that because it's costing us money. They have wanted to pay, instead of a police pension, they want to pay an IMRF pension, which is substantially lower, which adds to our costs. And I took some of that off, and that's how I got to the $260,000. But it is costing the city a lot of money, and that's something in addition to the fact that we don't get paid promptly on this. We often wait a year for payment. When I came into office in 2021, they owed us money from 2016. They owe us money for gas that they use. So I have to look out for the city's financial position, and that's where we stand at this point. So we have tried as much as we can. It's up to what the school district wants to work on. So that's my comments for tonight. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, ma'am. We have 2 proclamations. One will be for the Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church Day in Waukegan, scheduled for September 15th, 2024. That will be presented at the Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church on Sunday. Did you want this read now, ma'am? Sure. Okay.
Let's read it in.
Whereas the AME Church grew out of the Free African Society, which Richard Allen, Absalom Jones, and others established in Philadelphia in 1787. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church and its founding members formed what was then known as the Christian Endeavor class in 1904, meeting house to house, eventually building their first church at 541 Oak Street in 1911. Many notable Waukegan residents were members of the church throughout its history, including founders Reverend and Mrs. Harry Ellison Johnson, Mr. and Mrs. Green Tarver, and the owner of Waukegan's first black store. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church began a fundraising campaign in 1911 to build a church at 541 Oak Street, and then the project was completed and dedicated in June of 1913. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church is a leader in the civil rights movement in our area and is referred to by many as the mother of all Negro churches in Lake County because numerous other churches were established due to their support and influence. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church enjoyed tremendous growth in its congregation from 1953 to 1960 under the leadership of Pastor Bob Thomas, and whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church opened the doors to their new church at 210 South Avenue in 1957 and became known as the Church of Happy People. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church has had 23 pastors in their 119 years of service to the community, including their first female pastor, Reverend Janice Brazil Cummings, who served from 2012 to 2020. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church at 210 South Avenue is landmarked for its significant contributions to the historical, heritage, and cultural characteristics of the city of Waukegan, and its identification with persons who significantly contributed to its development. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church is the first black church in the Waukegan, North Chicago, Zion area, and the second church building with a black congregation in Lake County. And whereas Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church, often referred to as the Church of Happy People, continues its mission to be a beacon of light in the community, fostering a sense of belonging and unity among its members. And now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Ann B. Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby proclaim September 15th, 2024 as Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church Day in Waukegan to celebrate their 120th anniversary. Be it further resolved that a suitably embossed copy of this resolution, signed by the mayor and city clerk, be presented at the Trinity African Methodist Episcopal Church 120th anniversary celebration on Sunday, September 15, 2024, dated this third day of September 2024.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Do we have the hard copy of that or not? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. But since Pastor Brown was here, do you want to come up and say anything, or do you want to wait till the 15th? Wait till the 15th? Okay. So again, that is on September 15th at 11 o'clock at AME Church.
All right, the second one is Proclamation Payroll Week in Waukegan, September 2nd through the 6th, 2024. Whereas Payroll.org and its more than 20,000 members have launched a nationwide public awareness campaign that pays tribute to the nearly 150 million people who work in the United States, and then payroll professionals who support the American system by paying wages, reporting worker earnings, and withholding federal employment taxes. Whereas payroll professionals in Waukegan, Illinois play a crucial role in maintaining the economic health of Waukegan, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into the unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting, and depositing. Whereas payroll departments collectively spend more than $2.4 trillion annually complying with federal and state wages and tax laws. And whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role in ensuring the economic security of American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and making sure they comply with their child support mandates. And whereas payroll professionals have become increasingly proactive in educating the business community and the public about payroll tax withholding systems, their efforts have significantly increased public awareness and understanding of the complex payroll system, making everyone more informed. Whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state tax officials to discuss improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at a lower cost to both government and businesses. This collaborative effort instills confidence in the public and ensures the smooth functioning of the payroll system. And whereas the week in which Labor Day falls has been proclaimed National Payroll Week, be it further resolved that Mayor Ann B. Taylor and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, give additional support to the efforts of the people who work in our city of Waukegan and of the payroll profession by proclaiming September 2nd through the 6th, 2024, as Payroll Week in Waukegan, adopted this third day of September 2024. Well, I'm appreciative of payroll.
Clerk,
Thank you.
it's time.
All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to call the first four: Ray Vukovic, Clyde McLemore, Kathy Charity, and Bobby Garland. You have 3 minutes, and let me get set up here.
Can you call the names again, please?
Pardon me? Ray Vukovic, Clyde McLemore, Kathy Charity, and Bobby Garland. And I got 2 clocks I'm working with. Hold on. Okay, Ray Vukovic.
Good evening. As I was signing in to speak tonight, I thought to myself, my goodness, I've become one of those people. I have a lot of time that I've spent with the city, and I have a lot of opinions, but I usually keep them to myself. But this one here really hits me, and that's your intergovernmental agreement with the school district. You know, Waukegan has a long history of intergovernmental agreements. Go back like 55 years ago, if one hadn't been passed, Mayor, you wouldn't be the mayor. There'd be no 9th Ward. The southwestern boundary of Waukegan would basically be Green Bay Road and Belvedere Street. But Park City needed water, and Waukegan could sell them water, and Waukegan wanted to go west, so some land was disconnected from Park City and came into Waukegan. It's been beneficial to both communities. And just always remember that Park City's been a good neighbor. But the school district, where are they? Where's the superintendent? She makes $301,000 is her salary, and she's worried about the pension costs that this agreement's gonna cost the school district. The taxpayers of Waukegan School District pay $29,000 for her pension that the normal school teacher would pay out of their pocket, the 9%. So, where are they? They should be here, either the superintendent, somebody from the Board of Education. This is important. And you've given back and forth. I mean, we're at the point now, I don't want to sound like King Solomon here, but maybe we need to split the baby at your $40,000 apart, make it $20,000, because by the time they get around to voting on anything, 10% of the school year is going to be over. So you're not going to have as many days in there as you normally would. But anyways, I would hope that you pass something tonight and throw the ball in their court, because they should have done this last year. This is on the school district. Shame on them that they've dragged this out, and they're They're not even here. The last correspondence, I believe, they said 220 was their final offer. They're not going to negotiate? They're 15 blocks away from here. Somebody, superintendent, should have been here in this building meeting or at this meeting to plead their case. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clyde McLemore.
As this council know, I've been coming to the city council meeting for over 15, 17 years. I remember this council voted on an honorary street sign for Trinity and A&M Church over about 7 or 8 years ago. They paid for it. It was put up on South Avenue. It's my understanding that the city want a person to pay $300 a year to keep an honorary sign up. So the city of Waukegan came and took the sign down after they didn't pay the $300. My question to the city is, how the hell you call it an honorary sign if a person got to pay every year? You get an honorary sign, someone has to do something very special in the community. A legacy which keeps their name honored and for generations and not a year to collect funds. If the city honors someone, let them be honored. Honorary means honor without unusual requirements. They are not honorary what y'all are doing. Y'all selling street signs, and that's not honoring. That's called hustling. That's what it's called. It's called hustling. And you need not to get in this mayor's race. Your coming out party at the Genesee Theater was a very short crowd. I heard it was about 50 people there, and half of them was your staff. And since you don't hire within the city, half of them can't even vote for you. You've been a disaster. Your turnout party was a disaster. These last 3 years of you been a disaster. Step aside and don't waste your time. I thought you was a new breed, but you know better than that white woman that accused Emmett Till of whistling at her. Black Lives Matter. On another note, since I got some more time, I'm with you on that SRO. I don't want them in the school at all, because check this out. That's that school-to-prison pipeline. They don't need to be over there. Let them get called. Let the city pay for them. I'm with you on that. But other than that, you've been a disaster.
Kathy Charity.
Hi, Kathy Charity. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I read an article that the Lake County Sheriff Department and the Waukegan Police Department joined together a SWAT team called TRT, which means Tactical Response Team. This team is to respond quickly and more effectively to high-risk situations and for the safety of the public. I pray it works. As we all know, only one president supports the blue. Over the last few weeks, more crime, gunfire, loud music, and speeding is uncontrollable, as if no one is protecting the citizens of Waukegan. Alderman Bolton, there's an SUV that goes up and down McAllister, which I'm sure you can hear, with speakers that would blow a person to Mars. Why haven't this person been cited? Influx of illegals from over 147 countries, mainly from Venezuela, walking our streets, giving many of us a sense of insecurity because we do not know them, trust them, or even feel safe around them. They're working in Family Dollar stores, General Dollar stores, Walmart, Aldi, Chili's, and many other restaurants. Did the city of Waukegan receive any type of money to approve this? Many people are fully aware of what's going on. Sad, many are still asleep. And many probably don't care because the rise in COVID, the West Nile virus, monkeypox, triple E, and a lot of things are on the rise because election is coming. 10th Street is a total war zone, and First Ward still needs strength. I'm talking about alpha strength. Also, the Genesee Theater is having a transvestite comedy show coming in on October 30th. Who's on the Genesee board that will allow this type of entertainment to come to Waukegan? The left is continuously pushing this mess down our throats. Also, many people have left Waukegan because of the environment. Waukegan has really changed. It doesn't feel like it used to feel. In closing, vote for the person to lead and who will get the job done and make America great again.
Bobby Garland.
Greetings, Mayor, and greetings, Alderman. I'd like for you, what do you see when you look at that picture up on that wall, the TV screen? You see the Waukegan lakefront, correct? We have a gold mine right up under our feet, and yet we're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul by raising taxes and shifting funds from one fund to another, instead of going into debt. Here, I'm a senior citizen. My taxes went up 11% this year. Multiply that for the seniors and people who live in this community. You got a gold mine right here. It's called Navy Pier. We can do that right here in Waukegan. You have investors that want to invest. You're talking about vitalizing the downtown. If you vitalize the lakefront, if you put the hotels, put the boats, put the things that pier down there deserves to have. I've been here 67 years, and I've watched this city just decline. The downtown's gone. Welton stole the ideas from Sabanjan with Six Flags and Great America and all of that, and we still sitting here. Lakehurst ain't here no more. You can't even go downtown. The Genesee Theater, Jack Benny, is dead. The Genesee Theater is not going to pay the revenue to take care of our schools. I pay over, most of my taxes pay for school, and my kids are grown. We're talking about paying Peter to rob Paul. It's two verses of scriptures I'd like to share with you when I close in this comment. One is in the Old Testament. It says, where my people have no vision, they perish. Another one's in the New Testament. It says, you have not because you ask not, and you ask amiss. If we come off of trying to shift funds from one fund to another to pay these and then raising the taxes and putting people in deeper debt, deeper poverty, we can do better than this. There's nothing down here. What are the people going to come for to see? You got 41, you got the tollway, you got 43, you got everything right here, a gold mine. All we have to do is have a vision. About investors, you open your mouth one time and say you're going to duplicate what happens at Navy Pier, you'll have investors out of the woodwork coming here and drop money. Well, you won't have to be taking money from this fund, taking money from grant funds. We got to wake up and see what for our children, for the future. That's what the cry is. It's nothing here to do to see. Even down with the Genesee Theater. What do we have down there? Once a week, once every month or something, artists come in? That's not going to bring no talent here. We need to bring a change here. And I'm tired of just sitting and looking around and we're just steady arguing about what we're going to take from this grant money, what we're going to take from this, and you steady taking the taxes from the people.
Thank you. The next three will be Mr. Rayon Edwards, Margaret Carrasco, and Nicole Hernandez. Mr. Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, council, community. I brought these flowers today on behalf of myself and the south side of Waukegan. I'm going to give these to you, Mayor. You did something that a lot of us didn't think would happen. You came to our community, and you stayed out there for us for a while. Despite how I may feel politically, we appreciate that. It warmed my heart to see you come there and mingle and politic with the people, so I will give you these when I'm done talking. When we talk about this resource officer, I'm against it on every level, and I'm gonna keep on talking about it because, again, and I say this all the time that I'm up here, I try to meet with the chief of police and he won't even talk with me. He won't even sit down and meet with me. Sunday, I had about 1,300 people in King Park. 1,300 people. I had not one episode, no fight. There was no disruption. So when I tell you what I know how to do and what I'm capable of doing, it's not hard. It just takes work. And it almost makes me feel like a lot of y'all are scared of that work. I seen something Sunday, and I did something Sunday. A few years ago, my community was broken by murder. Sunday, I got to watch those families hug each other, something that I didn't think would ever happen while I was here on earth. So when you tell me what people can't do, I'm going to keep on talking and I'm going to keep on fighting for those people because I love them different. I know them. Until the police build a relationship with this community, we need to be protecting them from our kids. A lot of us feel this way. We watch the news. Every time we turn around, somebody that looks like me is dead. Not nobody that looks like a lot of y'all. So you imagine telling a kid that looked like me how that's going to make them safe. I've done everything within my power to try to work with this police department. And it's almost become an impossible task. What I'm saying to y'all and what Mr. Garland said to y'all, we have a gold mine. We have an amazing and a beautiful community with some amazing and some outstanding people. Violence is a choice. And if we give them something to do, if we listen to them, I promise you, some of that violence will stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Margaret Carrasco?
I appreciate you coming.
Hello, Waukegan. Waukegan's on fire. It's full of excitement. For those persons that are not connected, perhaps don't feel the vibes going on, all the movement going on. We kick off this Sunday with our annual Awesome Beauty Pageant for the young woman, Latina woman in Waukegan. We've been doing it for 20 years, and we're going to do it for 20 more years, okay? It kicks off at 5 o'clock over at Paris Banquet Hall. Then we also have our documentary. We're doing an official documentary. We're getting a grant for it, in which we're going to highlight all the past and present parade directors and leaders in the Latino community. We think the history is very important to maintain. Then we kick off with our tapetes. Tapetes is a Mexican cultural artistic tapestry, which we do it on the streets, we do it on the ground, and with different kinds of beans and all the kind of vegetables, etc. But it's really beautiful and it's historic. It's never been done in the state of Illinois, and in Waukegan, we're going to do it. Then we go on to the 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday. We have just so many activities. There's 5 different activities in the city of Waukegan, not just yours, Ann. 5, okay? Other events from the community, the real people, okay? And including your Chicago Parade on Saturday. We have our doggy dress-up contest and parade. We have a youth rodeo. We have lots of children games. Our grito, which is very ceremonic, Mexican independence on Saturday night. Lasso's beautiful, beautiful horse show. And so everyone's invited. Free event, free festival, free parade. We want people, as we have always done, to come together and share our culture, open to everyone. With that, and we have civil rights lawyers there too. We invited them to come down and join us. This is next for legal counsel, Stu. Okay, sir, my words to you is, are you aware of the video that Fourth Ward Alderman Victor did on behalf of the city with the city logo on it? And if you review it, I believe his words are in violation of our civil rights, okay? Not a cool thing, Victor, okay? And just to let you know, our festivities on private ground, read my lips, we do not need a city permit because it's not on city grounds. It's not a city event. It's the community's event. The other thing is that, are you aware, Victor, and you know, it's really sad, you couldn't pick up the phone to ask us exactly what are we doing, okay? We are not, just like last year. Last year was beautiful. Ann had her parade, the community had her parade, they had people, we had
Thank you,
people.
Ms. Carrasco. Thank you.
And she's
Nicole
been in 2 of the
Hernandez.
parades without permits
Thank
with
you.
me.
Nicole Hernandez.
First, I just want to say most of you up here had received the copy of the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights that I passed out. That still applies. So as Rayon has informed you, violence is a choice. So if you guys choose to support habits of the employees and not address them, and they violate human rights, it might not catch up with you now. It has already been a year, has already been 2 years, but it will catch up with you eventually, okay? War crimes will catch up with all of you that violate war crimes. That being said, I don't agree with having the SROs inside of the building. I myself was a good student, born and raised here, had no problems, went to college, did everything the right way, haven't been to jail. But we still have to deal with discrimination. We still have to deal with personal attacks. Yes, some kids are being coddled and everything else. However, like my teenager said, that's at the high school, what's the point in having the SRO if they're not going to do anything when illegal things happen? Are they there to make friends? Think about that. Are these grown-ups there to make friends, or are they there to handle the business? When the teachers are breaking the law, is anyone addressing it? When the school district is funneling millions out to nonprofits in the name of McKinney-Vento students, is anyone addressing that? No, because you know why? It's all going under the, oh, we can't have access to that because it's a minor. When my children were labeled McKinney-Vento, I can't even have access to where the funds went in my own children's names. Surprise, surprise. But yet we're going to just keep on supporting the funneling of funds? It's not acceptable, okay? We have generations and generations of people here that either choose to be part of it or choose to be part of the solution. So if you want to continue to be part of the drama and part of the attacks on civilians and part of the let's go get 'em team, that's a choice of violence that you're making every day. You're making that choice. So decide every moment when you're sitting there, yeah, nay, no, yes, whatever. It's a choice. If you know better, you do better. You guys are not doing better. Nothing has changed. I'm not impressed. Most people aren't impressed. Why do we come here? For what? Is anything going to change going forward because I came here? No.
Thank you, Ms. Nicole. Ma'am, that concludes the audience time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. On to the consent agenda. Can I have a first and a second for the consent agenda?
First, I'll make it first.
Second was Alderman Turner, second was Alderman Donenworth. Is there anything anybody wants to pull out? Okay. Item A, motion to approve and ratify the regular payroll dated August 23rd, 2024 in a total amount of $2,022,276.52. Item B, a motion to approve and ratify miscellaneous payroll dated August 23rd, 2024 in a total amount of $20,915.01. Item C, a motion to approve vendor payments dated September 2nd, 2024 in the amount of $1,664,807.04. Item D, a motion to approve the door-to-door cookie ordering solicitation from December 13th, 23 to, it should be 24, I believe, right? Yes, December 13th, 24 to January 15th, 25. by the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana. And item E, a motion to approve Halloween trick-or-treat hours for Sunday, October 27th, 2024, from 2 to 5 p.m. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And does anybody want to do an omnibus for everything?
Motion to omnibus.
I'll second that.
Okay. Okay, we'll pull out item J. And anything else that you want pulled out besides item J?
I, L, and M.
Okay.
Who's
okay,
the first
can I-
and the second?
Who was the first on the? Alderman Guzman was
I
the
was.
first. Alderman Florian second on the omnibus. Okay.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye. Sorry, I had problems unmuting.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed.
thank you, Madam Clerk. Item A, a motion to approve an honorary street sign, or street name sign, Trinity AME Church. Item B, a resolution authorizing the purchase of those parcels of property located at 215 and 221 Westmoreland Avenue, Waukegan, for $500,000, and the execution of a post-closing occupancy agreement for the fire department. Item C, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of a city-owned property located at 101 Wisconsin Avenue to Jesus Martinez and Julieta Martinez. Item D, an ordinance declaring surplus property, approving a bill of sale, authorizing the convergence of a storm sewer owned by the city of Waukegan and plat of easement at 3530 Birchwood Drive. Item E, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding or an MOU with the Regional Transit Authority, the RTA, and the Waukegan Port District concerning participation in a developer discussion panel. Item F, a resolution supporting and authorizing a grant application for an open space lands acquisition and development on OSLAC grant for the Jack Benny Plaza renovation project. Item G, a resolution approving and authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the City of North Chicago and authorizing the application for a U.S. Department of Transportation Reconnecting Communities Pilot Discretionary Grant Program, Community Planning Grant. Item H, a resolution approving a professional services agreement for an Amtrak feasibility study with Sam Schwartz. Item I, a resolution granting Waukegan.
You're going to pull that one out, please.
You pulled out I? Oh, okay.
I, J, L, and M.
Item K, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and reapproving design build contract with Baxter Woodman Boiler Construction LLC for filter rehabilitation at the Waukegan Water Filtration Plant in the amount of $3,949,500. And that's it. Any questions to those motions? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can I have a first and a second to item I?
Make the first.
Okay, that was Alderman Martinez. And
Second.
Was it Alderman Donnerworth or Alderman Turner? Alderman Turner, I'm sorry. This is a resolution granting the Waukegan Community Development Partnership a limited waiver of the professional services reimbursement requirement related to its proposal for redevelopment plan for the Genesee Street Corridor project. Questions, Alderman Turner?
Man, what's the dollar amount on this one?
I remember it.
This is for a redevelopment.
Yeah.
Downtown?
Yeah, so what this is this, what,
Noel, you want to come on up?
yeah.
Oh, okay, you got it? Okay.
So our requirement under normal circumstances and when we have an economic development project is that all professional services costs, including legal, financial analysis, peer review of engineering, would be paid for by the developer. In this case, the developers, and there's representatives here tonight from the Waukegan Community Development Partnership, have requested that the city bear the costs that it incurs, not the costs that the developer incurs, and that those be paid for out of the TIF to perform the financial analysis necessary to determine if the incentives that are being requested are going to provide a sufficient return on investment. When we spoke with the alderman, kind of the most common question we got was, will the city get its money back? Will this generate the return on investment? Without working with outside consultants, including SB Friedman, which is the premier financial consultant who looks at TIF funding and other incentives, we can only give you rough guesses.
Okay. Is there a rough guess or estimation of how much the waiver is going to be? How much would fees be if it weren't waived?
I believe Noel's going to come up and...
Oh, there she is. Hi, Noel.
Good evening. The estimate from SB Friedman is $19,500.
Thank you. Call for the vote.
Can you say it again, Noel?
I'm sorry.
Now, $19,500 to perform the estimate on the EAV, the property value projections that will be determined, that will be used to determine if the incentives will actually generate a return on investment.
And that's being paid for out of the TIF, correct?
Out of TIF number 8, yes.
Yep.
Fund
Okay.
262.
Any other questions to the motion?
Call for the vote.
Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item J, can I have a first and a second to the motion?
First.
Second.
Alderman Martinez, second was Alderman Florian. And that is an ordinance creating a Class A tavern liquor license for La Zona 84 Bar and Grill located at 1508 Washington Street. Any questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Nay.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item L, can I have a first and a second to this?
First.
Alderman Newsome, second.
Second.
Alderman Donnerworth. This is a resolution waiving competitive bidding and ratifying the procurement of the renovation services from Lab Construction, Inc. for the Human Resources Department in the amount of $27,225. Alderman Turner, you have questions to the motion?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to pull this one out because, as it was explained to us in the committee, there was a specialized doors that are to be added, and I didn't understand why that wasn't called out in the requirements gathering process at the initiation of the project. And this is essentially a change order, and I think we gotta do better in our estimating of projects and awarding of projects and bidding and waiving procedures and all of that stuff. We need to do better, and I don't want to support this, so I wanted to call it out. Thank you.
So this was a situation where we were going to order the doors ourselves, and somehow the contractor ordered the doors and didn't let us know about it, and then it was, we got the bill for it, so it was two separate things that ended up combining into one. So that's all it is. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
No.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item M, can I have a first and a second to the vote?
So move.
Second.
Alderman Martinez, second. Alderman Newsom. A resolution approving an intergovernment agreement between the City of Waukegan and the Waukegan Community Unit School District 60 for public safety services for the 24-25 school year. I think we've talked about this in committee. Should we just call for the vote? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
This is, just to be clear, this is at 260. Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
No.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no ordinances, Alderman time.
Alderman Hayes.
All right, first up, the SRO issue is a hot topic. I think that the City Council and all of the aldermen did a really good job, both during the aldermanic briefings and tonight. Everyone had something that they wanted to say or had an opinion about it. I think it was unfortunately thrust upon us to have to make this decision. The school board, as Mr. Vukovic aptly pointed out, didn't even bother to show up. But if school safety is such a priority, as they say, it's troubling that they didn't even put it on their agenda to consider this. So I think the City Council, as was said earlier, stepped up, took the high road, ball was put in our court, however, it was said a few different ways tonight, but I think it was impressive the way everybody kind of came together, prioritized the school when the school board wasn't really, prioritized the students when the school board wasn't willing to do that. So I just want to thank you all for that. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Edwards on the South Side reunion. I heard it went really well, and it is impressive that you were able to throw such an event and bring the community together. So thank you for that. Otherwise, Public Works and city staff, I usually stay silent during my alderman time, but I think it's important to just recognize you guys and say thank you for all that you do. You're responsive to our requests, even some of mine that are seemingly absurd. Nonetheless, you're always professional and are quick with a response, quick to act, and quick to get things done. So thank you very much for that. That's all I have.
Alderman Bolton.
Pass.
Alderman Guzman.
Good evening. I want to start off with, I want to apologize for not showing up last meeting. I had worked with the state. They had us do some stuff out of the city, actually out of the county. So that's where I was there. But I was, after I got home, I did watch the city council on YouTube. So that's the great part about it. Okay. But I did want to go on record first. So when somebody's absent, is Stu here? Okay. When somebody's absent on the reappointment boards, are they voted in as yes, or are they voted as no or absentees?
You vote them in, if you want them in or not.
Correct, but I wasn't here last meeting, so.
Oh, no, if you weren't here for the meeting, you don't get to vote. It's that night that you vote.
Yes, but what is that, in the record, what does it show? Yay, nay, or?
Just like any other vote, yes.
So it would be a yes. So. Thank you.
Back to that if you want to go on with your other
Okay.
comments.
So also, when I spoke to Alderman Turner about holding over the $3 million, wasn't because last meeting we had a $3 million overage from the previous year.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to go to a certain department or anything. It was going to go back to the general fund, which General Counsel did confirm that. So that's why I asked Alderman Turner if he can hold that over, which I mean, it wasn't because I thought the mayor was doing anything funny or anything, because, I mean, if you look, I mean, the stuff's in the pudding. I mean, let's face it. 4 years ago, we were fixing plows with stop signs and stuff. Now we're actually buying plows. So the finances are there, and the way the purse is being taken care of, it is being taken care of tightly. And trust me, I call them on it all the time. And when somebody says free or discounted, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Okay? So I did want to make sure. Okay, now that Stu's back, last meeting, or for any meeting at all, if an alderman is missing, what goes on the record for an appointee if the majority of the board goes yay? Does it say yay, nay, or absentee for the record?
It says absent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question now when you asked it, but yes, it goes as absent.
Okay. All right. Well, but I just want to go for the record. Myself will always vote no for reappointments, but the only one I did want to definitely say yes to is, because I think the two Waukegan Library Boards were reappointments. I don't like reappointments, so I would vote no. But the Waukegan Port District person, I know I've gotten a few emails on that one. I would have vote yes, because it is her actual first term. She just took over the term from the previous person that had left. So I would have voted yes for that one. So I just wanted to go that for the record. Okay. Okay. So what is the? Because Rayon wasn't the first person that has mentioned this before. That other people have mentioned this about the honorary sign. Is there language on there? Because for everybody to understand, when we honor somebody, it is, and we put up a sign, it is for 1 year and 1 year only. Okay, after that, it comes down, because we don't want signs everywhere and every street being named and stay there forever. Is the language there that states it's a 1 year and 1 year only?
So, unfortunately, the only thing that we have is an application form. There's no indication that that application form was actually approved in any particular manner. In a prior council under Mayor Cunningham, prior corporation council had created a detailed policy that was very explicit about that specific issue and a number of other ones. That was not adopted. And so I've taken that old policy and hat tip to prior corporation council. It was pretty well written. I've updated it, and we're going to be circulating it to you guys for review and approval by resolution. So it'll be clear what the policies are. And if you want them to be up longer, you can change that. But we want it to be very clear to the community, clear to the aldermen, and clear to the people being honored what they can expect. And that should be you should be seeing it before the next meeting.
Okay, great, because I was just about to throw motion on that for 1 year, 1 year only. That's it. Okay, meeting of the whole. I mean, some of this stuff has been in there for like 7 months, 6 months, and it's just taking way too long. And now that we're doing the revenue allocation plan, it's going to be even further. So, I mean, either we move it along faster and we do every single meeting until
There will be one at the next council meeting.
and every single one after that, because there's stuff that's, I mean, been there for a long time. I mean, how long was your balloons on there? For 6 months, you said, Alderman Florin? That is way, way, way too long.
Yeah. So we're starting to go through those now that we've gotten through some of the other stuff, and I want to finish those before we start the budget process, which is coming up the end of this month. So you're going to get a ton of them at the next meeting. But then keep in mind, in a month from now, I'm probably going to come back with the wrap and say, have you talked to who you needed to talk to? And if you have questions, have you talked to staff, that kind of thing? Because that will also go back on there.
Yeah, because this process is huge. Alderman Turner, you had speed bumps and humps. How long was that on there? 6 months? 7 months? 18 months. No, it was less than that because, yeah, the whole committee. 6 or 7 months. I mean, that is just way, way, way too long. I mean, I understand how committee of the whole started because it was taking too long, the conversations were too long, and everything like that. But, I mean, the process is just delay. I mean, I think after we finish this, what we have on there now, I think it should be dissolved. It should be, it should go into the, whatever motion or whatever comes up, should go into the appropriate committee. Should be a time limit on what the discussion is, and it should just come up for vote after that. Because, I mean, this is 6 months, 7 months.
It would help if you would vet them first
crazy.
with staff, because we get them here in the committee of the whole, and they're not vetted, and they're not put into an ordinance form. So if we can get that before it ever comes to a committee of the whole, that would be helpful.
Okay. Okay, before I'm almost done, next thing, SROs. So earlier, during the government oversight and operations, I made a comment on the SROs. I actually said $500 million. It's actually $343.5 million is the budget for the schools. Okay, they knew they had an option to sign for 5 years. They chose to do it for 1 year. So that money should have been, that allocation for the SROs should have been on this year's budget. It was not. It went from 120 to 220, and now we're asking for 260. Okay? Even, I believe in my heart that we should help our brother, but our brother or sister is taking advantages of the city of Waukegan right now. But we are stuck in this situation. Let's make a deal. Let's get those SROs back in school. But next year, very firm. We do not move a cent. With $343.5 million budget, they have way, way more than enough money to pay for these officers. Okay. My last comment before I go. Okay, I've been looking at resolutions and about what's coming up for vote in November. And one struck me, the Highland Park liquor license. The only reason why they filed under the referendum to be to allow elected officials to own liquor license because they're under 80,000 people. Other than that, it would fall under the legislative branch of the state of Illinois. So what I'm proposing is for a resolution to allow, to send to the state of Illinois governor to allow elected officials to change the law, the liquor law, to allow elected officials to have a liquor license. But two conditions, I believe, should exist and should exist on the checks and balances process. One, if you have if you get that liquor license, it cannot be in the ward or district that you represent. Two, you can no longer vote on liquor license to avoid being to avoid trying to destroy your competition or whatever you do. But if you comply on those two, I believe you should get a liquor license. So I'm proposing, I'm doing a motion for a resolution to send to the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, to allow elected officials to hold an Illinois liquor license to change the Illinois law.
First or second?
Alderman Guzman's made a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Are we allowed to discuss this, or
Well,
what's the process now?
What the process will be is that we're being asked to prepare a resolution. All aldermanic ordinances and resolutions are going to committee of the whole, where they can be brought forward, they can be you can advance them on the agenda, you can make that, well, that, the legislative body always has the right to reorder the way it does, what it prioritizes and how it does business. And we did that with an amendment to the liquor code that Alderman Felix had requested because it was important to a local business. This would be a symbolic resolution, but communities do these all the time. They petition the legislatures to take certain action. So it would be a relatively simple resolution to prepare.
Would go on committee of the whole for.
So we'll be able to ask questions then? Okay.
Yeah, when you have the resolution before you. So there was a first and a second to direct staff to prepare a resolution for consideration.
Does that have to go to a vote?
Yeah, if they're gonna. You're not voting to approve the resolution. You're voting on directing me to prepare the resolution to bring it to put it on committee of the whole.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Hayes.
Is this for Alderman Guzman's proposed? No.
Alderman Bolton. Guzman.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Nay.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Nay.
Passes, right? Yeah.
Motion passed.
We'll prepare a resolution, a short resolution to that effect for consideration at committee of the whole.
Okay, before I let everybody go, no, before I let everybody go, the next person will speak before I'm done. I want to remind everybody that daylight is getting shorter. School buses are a little harder to see. Children are a little harder to see when they're crossing this, those bus lines. So please be aware. Make sure you're stopping at every stoplight that they flash. When in the mornings, in the afternoons, when they get out, please be patient because they're moving all around. Okay? Thank you.
Alderman Martinez.
Thank you, Madam City Council. First, I'd like to commend Pastor Barbara Brown for stepping up with the nice invocation. I would also like to thank the council, the mayor, for the purchase of the two properties at 215 and 221 Westmoreland Avenue for the new fire department. It will be located on Lewis and Monroe. It is much needed. We look forward to that. We're all excited. I am very grateful and look forward to a new modern facility and to meet the needs of our city and our constituents in our neighborhood. And again, it is that time again for homecoming. Just to remind everybody that the homecoming for the Brookside campus for the Bulldogs will be held on Friday the 13th. It will start at the Brookside campus. As in previous years, it will be in the vicinity of the campus and in the neighborhood. I am requesting all neighbors to participate in uplifting our students and also supporting the Bulldogs, maybe decorating your home, maybe a friendly wave, but definitely please support them, be out there to support our youth. The parade route, I will mention it. It will start at Brookside, and then it is going to travel west to Flossmoor, and then it is going north to University,
east to Tiffany Drive. It does continue to Lydia Avenue, east to Martin, and finally back to Brookside. I also plan on walking around neighborhoods and local businesses in the vicinity to promote the event. I do thank Mr. Motley for getting the flyers for me. The parade does start at 5:30 at the Brookside parking lot. If you are going to be in a parade, they ask that you be there at 4:30. The theme for this year is Mystery Masquerade, and we are definitely looking forward to that and supporting our youth. Next, I also like to, I have a happy report to all my constituents that live at the area of Glen Flora and Metropolitan Avenue. Again, this is for the clearance project that will begin. The feasibility study was conducted successfully, and it was completed. Therefore, there will be a better view for those vehicles entering Glen Flora through Metropolitan Avenue. You'll be safer. You'll be able to see. There won't be any obstruction. We are meeting this Friday at 3:30 at the vicinity, which will be at Metropolitan and also Glen Flora. I do want to thank the city. I do want to thank City Engineer Jesus Aguilera for putting up with me. I know that's something that I've been very adamant in getting fixed. So I thank all the parties that were involved in getting this done. I did make contact with those homeowners that would be affected. There will be some of their property that would probably have to do away, maybe some bushes, but the most important thing is that there will be clearance and there will be safety. And that's something that we've been waiting for from what they're saying for a very long time. The city delivered, and I'm so proud to be part of that. I do want to thank Director Chris Garland for all his efforts and all the whole city council for putting this together. So if you are interested, we will be meeting on Friday at 3:30. Again, it would be at the Metropolitan Avenue and Glen Flora. So that's something that will occur this Friday. And again, it is the Hispanic Heritage Month. It does begin on September 15th to October 15th. It is to recognize the history and the culture and the contribution of the Hispanic Americans and to honor the diversity of our experiences here in the United States. Just a reminder also that the Viva la Independencia Parade will be held on Sunday, 15th, 2024. It will kick off on Washington Street to Buttrick to downtown. It is from 12 to 3. I would like to thank the organization, Juntos, as the mayor had mentioned earlier, which is a non-for-profit. They are requesting a $150 entry fee, and the majority of that money is to put that money back into the scholarship for the youth. So that's a great idea that they're not even thinking about themselves. They're thinking about our youth and being able to sponsor a scholarship for those who apply for it. Special thanks to Elizabeth Morero, her crew, for putting it all together. If you need any information, the phone number is 224-219-6543, and she'll be able to answer any questions you have. I would also like to welcome new business, Angels Insurance, to the 3rd Ward. As the mayor was there Friday, she did have a grand opening. It is located at 1908 Grand Avenue. It was a nice event. She had a mariachi band, she had food, and just hearing her testimony, how she came from humble beginnings from Colombia to come and to live the American dream, to actually be living it. But I do wish Angels Insurance, the staff, and a proprietor, Elizabeth Gonzalez, and she is located at 1908 Grand Avenue. Please solicit it. And if you need to get a hold of me, I can be reached at 847-390-2689. I'm sorry that I missed the Southside picnic. I do hear that it was a great event. It was attended by a lot of people. Not one incident occurred. But I do want to commend Ray for recognizing and coming up here and kind of extending that olive branch to the mayor, because usually he goes up here going back and forth, but it was a nice gesture to see something different for once here. And so I embraced that and I welcome that. That is all I have. I just wish everybody a great night. Please be safe, be mindful, but moreover, let's all be a great neighbor. Thank you.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you. A few things that I want to address. One thing that has been an issue since last year, at least when I came in, they didn't know how to tackle it, but now have a better idea. there's parking along the high schools that certain streets, you have to have a certain sticker to park there. And we want to enforce, I spoke to our chief of staff and I was asking, could we start working on enforcing those, the ordinances for parking? So he said, yes, there's something we can do, we can work towards. So we're looking at setting up communication publicly on a social, and also I would like to do a flyer that I can, maybe our government affair people can go and deliver to our residents that live in those areas, and myself as well. I like to knock on the doors and give them to them personally. What we're trying to do is around the high school, there's a lot of students that just park there where they shouldn't be parking. There is parking for the high school that they can pay for. It's about $80. Some people can afford it, some people can't, but it's $80, and for the most part, it's never full. I've looked over there. I spoke to the vice principal, their assistant principal, and it's never full. So they do have parking there for their students that drive. But with this plan, it would be eliminating students that shouldn't be parking there, and it causes our residents that actually live in these neighborhoods, their parking space. So that's something that thank you, Chief Bridges, for kind of guiding me on how to address this. But do you mind letting the people know how can people apply for this sticker, or how does that work?
Absolutely. Thanks, Alderman. I wanted to bring the chief in. He got all the information.
Thank you.
So if they want a sticker, they just can go to our records department, traffic. They have to bring a proof of residency, copy of the city sticker, and they can't have any outstanding parking tickets. As long as they meet all those requirements, the sticker's free, and they're allowed 2 per household. Our parking enforcement during the school year, they routinely go up and down the streets, and they write citations for cars that don't have the sticker displayed. It's a $20 violation, parking violation. So once the school year starts, our parking people know that that's routine. It's at both high schools and different areas throughout the city that have permit parking. We also encourage the residents to call. And lastly, the school does send out information to the student body, the parents, the kids, and everything. As the school year begins, they send out all these notices that you cannot park without a permit. Here's where you're supposed to park. Last year when we met with the school board, they said they do that every year. It goes out in a mailing, it goes out in emails. So the school does make every attempt to make the students and parents know that they can't park in those areas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So that is a big thing that hopefully we can address this. I do get some calls from residents that live in the area that they do see a lot of cars there that shouldn't be parking there. And I know our traffic division can't catch everyone. I know that they move around. But hopefully we can do that for our residents. That way they can feel more safe and have it's not, there's no a lot of cars parking in one area when there shouldn't be. The next thing that I wanted to address is regarding the $10.3 million from the casino and the cannabis revenue. One thing, at least from my point of view, is that we're discussing what to do with the money. When we're bringing up roads, infrastructure, or police station, there's there's money that there's a different discussion that what we're gonna have during the year for that. So right now we're kind of looking to give direction to those $10.3 million that we have available, which won't be every year. This is what we have currently. So that's kind of, I want to clear that up. This is only for that amount that we have right now. We want to give it direction. In terms of infrastructure and police station, all that stuff, that's a different discussion. At least that's what I get from my end. One thing, September 14th, there is going to be the North Chicago parade, the Mexican parade, for a good person that I know, a business owner in Waukegan, Fernando Bahena, is going to be hosting it. It's a great event. I attended last year. I encourage people to go. It's going to be in North Chicago, starting at 12. You can look it up on social media for more information. And on the 15th, the very own Waukegan Independence Parade. I'm happy that we're going to do it. I mean, it's with a good organization, Juntos. I've been, as someone mentioned, I did do a video with them, pointing out, the facts that we're, that they're only parade that are that have the permits and it has done everything the right way to get the permits. And they start at 12 on Sunday, the September 15th. I encourage everyone to go and join. I'll be marching. A lot of our aldermen will be available as well to march. We encourage everyone to attend. It's going to be a great event. Regarding the video, yeah, I encourage everyone to watch it and tell me what they think. It's me coming together with the organizer, talking about what a great event it can have and bringing people together. What I don't like to do is talk about how shaming people for doing the wrong thing. I'm not here to do the wrong thing. I'm here to make sure that we follow process and support those that are doing the right thing. That's regarding that. I want to say congratulations to La Zona 84 Bar and Grill. They just got their license approved today, their liquor license. They already have their business license approved, but they were waiting for the liquor license. And, congratulations. And, this is a new journey as a business owner. So, thank you for trusting in the process, and congratulations again for your starting your business. This is where the old Maple used to be. So I encourage people to stop by once they're open and, go to support our businesses here locally. That's it for me today. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Pass.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Victor, or maybe Stu, one of you, the mayor mentioned for the second time that there was a partnership with the city and this organization during the parade. What's the partnership? What are we doing?
Yeah, there's no formal partnership. What occurred is that the Desfile de Independencia parade, which is hosted by Juntos, and then the Puro Football Festival were the only applicants for parade and festival for September, the date, I'm sorry, I'm 15th, thank you. And the word partnership is in a colloquial sense. We've been working with these folks for, over the past few months to ensure that they understand, and they've been very cooperative and very communicative. So there was no relationship or contractual relationship or anything like
Cool.
that.
Thank you. All right. So in the 6th Ward, I want to remind folks about yard sale signs and other signs, including political signs that are being put in the parkways, not just in the 6th Ward, but around the city. It's not appropriate to put signage in the parkways that's city property. We kind of look at it with a squinty eye with the yard sale signs, but if you're doing it, if you put the signs out there, you put them on a pole or whatever, please remember to take them down when your yard sale, garage sale is over. Otherwise, they just become trash. As far as the SROs, I made the statement earlier at the committee meeting, and I'll just reiterate it here. I think that public safety is extremely important. It's a primary importance to me. I think regardless of pointing fingers, we should have just make this problem go away, except the $220,000. That being said, because we did pass the resolution for 260, I think we still should come back to the table at 240. Maybe they can come up with $240,000. I don't know. There's a new convenience store that opened, excuse me, in the 6th Ward, 900 block. I think it's 909 West Glen Flora. It's just west of Glen Flora. Opened last week, and so please stop in and pay them a visit, as well as our 24/7 gas station at Glen Flora and Jackson. Regards Halloween, and this applies also to 4th of July and Christmas and everything. We're celebrating Halloween on the 27th. That's 4 days before Halloween. I never, for the life of me, I can't understand why we don't celebrate the holiday on the holiday. And speaking of ceremony, this is not a celebration, but rather a ceremony. And this would be the 3rd year in a row that I'm going to host a 9/11 memorial ceremony. It will be at the the Veterans Memorial Park at the corner of Washington and West Street. This is commemorating remembrance of the 2,996 victims that were murdered on September 11th, 2001. Again, it'll be held at 10 o'clock a.m. I hope that you all join me. This is an informal the ceremony hosted by me. It's not a city event. It's just me. And I hope you'll join me. Thank you.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Thank you. Yes, I also would like to thank city staff and employees of Waukegan City. I'm constantly talking to them every day, whether it be on the phone or emails, and they're very responsive and they get things taken down or get things done, and I really appreciate it. We had a dumpster dump on September 10th, and it was a good time. Lots of junk, lots of tires, and a lot of people got rid of a lot of stuff. The SROs need to get back into the schools as soon as we can. I mean, get over this price thing, and do what you can, because we definitely want them in there before something happens. And then again, just stay safe. Thank you.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to clarify, someone mentioned about property taxes during audience time. We have not raised city property taxes in 3 years up here. So I know people's tax bills go up, mine did, but it was because of the school district I live in and a referendum that was passed, and then other little things. But as he said, he did acknowledge that the majority of your property tax bill is related to school expenses, and when the school raises property taxes, your tax bill goes up. When the park district raises property taxes, your tax bill goes up. But your tax bill did not go up in the last 3 years because of anything we did. We have not raised taxes in 3 years. We're still working with the same amount of money we did 3 years ago, so I just want to clarify that. Chief Pazer, when he did his remarks at the beginning of the meeting, he mentioned the opioid crisis, and I just want to mention that for those that are interested, the Intergovernmental Committee meeting is going to be next Thursday, the 12th at noon at the library, and we are having the people from the county come and discuss the opioid money that is being allocated to the county and what they plan to do with that. And we're also having Dr. Mary Roberson speak on what the opioid crisis looks like in our community. I also hope to have, this may come as a surprise to him, Don Schultz come and talk about the budget and some of the things going on with the casino money and what we talked about tonight and what our options are and where that's going. So that's at noon at the public library. And then I just have a suggestion about the committee of the whole. I will say the county has regular committee of the whole meetings, just always. That's part of the way they do business. But I think to make things a little more expedient up here, if the alderman proposing stuff gets the information they need from the staff ahead of time. If they call the fellow aldermen, we can't all meet at one time, but we can talk to each other. Talk to your fellow aldermen, find out where they stand on something so that you have a better concept of what's going on. And we may not need to talk about something for 45 minutes once we get up here if we have an idea of what people are already thinking about it. Who's supporting it and why? Who's against it and why? It may, minimize the amount of time we have to spend talking about it. So it's just a suggestion. Thank you and have a good night.
Can I have
Motion
a first
to
and a
adjourn.
second to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Turner and Donnerworth, sit down. We have to do a roll call on this one. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry, who's first and second?
Turner and Donnerworth was the second.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton. Alderman Guzman.
Aye.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Donnerworth. Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.